And now we move on to the creme de la creme, the big one. The one everybody's talking about. Delaware. Christine O'Donnell versus Chris Coons. Yeah, the lady who talked about masturbation. Who said that she was against masturbation. What could I possibly add to Christine O'Donnell that Jay Leno, David Letterman, Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, and so on hasn't already said? Plenty. Well, sweetheart, you're against masturbation, huh? You lost the otaku vote. But here's where I disagree with her hardcore. She says it counts as adultery. Adultery? No, that's when you're married and you do it with somebody else. That's adultery. Doing it with yourself isn't. Otherwise, we are all adulterers. Now I have this question to ask the GOP. She's an ex-witch, right? Okay, follow me here. Isn't that like the most anti-Christian thing you can be? No, seriously, let's think about that for just a minute. Not atheists, because atheists don't believe in anybody. They don't believe in heaven or hell. But a witch, they, well, you know. And correct me if I'm wrong about this, Republicans, but didn't you viciously go after Mitt Romney for being a Mormon? I remember hearing this all the time. Ew, we don't like Romney. He's a Mormon. No way he's going to be our nominee. He's a Mormon. We're going with McCain. How many wives does Romney have? One, last time I checked. Oh, did you hear Christine O'Donnell's an ex-witch? Oh, we're supporting her like crazy. So, the Democrats have really been throwing the entire kitchen sink. MSNBC has been doing like non-stop coverage with the Delaware race with Christine O'Donnell. So who am I calling this for? I am calling this for Coons. Yes, I predict Christine O'Donnell will lose. I think it'll be somewhat close. I think she'll lose by 5 points or less. But hold on a minute. I still think the Senate's in play. Yes, you heard me. We'll get to that later, and here's why. Democrats, you threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Christine O'Donnell. And I have this to say. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? I said, of course it was worth it. No, it wasn't. You know why? She was a distraction. Christine O'Donnell, she was the Admiral Akbar of this race.
It's a trap!
It's a trap! You were all focused on Christine O'Donnell while you were ignoring Democratic strongholds, which is why I'm calling Pennsylvania for Toomey to beat Sestak. That is our first pickup. And I am calling West Virginia for Reese. That's pickup number 2. Robert Byrd passed away earlier this year, rest his soul. He was a former Senate Majority Leader, hardcore Democrat, been there for decades and decades, and a former Ku Klux Klan member? Wait a minute, I thought only Tea Party people and Republicans were racist. He actually wore the hood! And he has a D next to his name. But I guess that's forgettable. Well, West Virginia, race has been popping up high in the polls. West Virginia still voted for Hillary Clinton in the primaries despite the fact that Obama took a huge lead. Yeah, that's going red. That's 2 pickups for the reps. 8 more and they take the Senate. Now we move to Arkansas. Blanche Lincoln. Even Chris Matthews thinks she's a goner. Now she's already survived twice. She survived 2 primary races. How you do that? But like I said, she's way too far behind in the polls. Even MSNBC has given up on her, which makes that pickup number 3. Now we go on to a very interesting race in Kentucky. Rand Paul, son of Ron Paul. Yeah, the guy who spams on YouTube all the time. I expect to see these on my comments page any minute now. Say, what do you think Rand Paul told his dad, Ron Paul? Dad, do me a favor. Don't say anything about September 11th till after the election. Or the lizard people. Or the Jews. Or that. Or that. Dad, you're embarrassing me with your conspiracy theories. Now get off. But yeah, Rand Paul wins easy in Kentucky. but that's a keeper. Same thing for Ohio. Indiana. According to the polls, even the New York Times, I'm calling this one for a Republican. That makes it pick up number 4, and he'll be replacing Evan Bayh, or we could call it Evan Bayh. Illinois. This one was a tough one. A month ago, I would have easily called this one for the Democrat. This, shockingly, is to replace Barack Obama's old Senate seat. You'd think this would be a shoo-in for the Democrats. I was almost positive, but when I took a look at the last polls, the guy was leading by 2 to 3 points. Illinois has been hurting in this recession. It's a tough one, but I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to go ahead and say Illinois, pick up number 5. New York State, I'm going to make a double prediction here. Chuck Schumer to easily keep his Senate seat. Same thing for Gillibrand, except I'm going to make a real hardcore prediction here. I predict Chuck Schumer will be the next Senate majority or minority leader, but I predict Chuck Schumer will be the next Democratic Senate leader. Why? Because even if Harry Reid survives his Nevada race, there's no way they're giving him that job back. While we're in New York, I'll go ahead and call New York for Cuomo. And then there's this Carl guy. Oh, I love this guy. He reminds me of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. How appropriate. Have you seen this guy? I love this guy. Didn't he punch a reporter in the face? About damn time something like that happened. Fortunately, he's way too mouthy. And dude, why couldn't you just do what Chris Christie said? Don't say a word till November 3rd. Here's our big upset. Wisconsin. That makes pickup number 6. Republicans to easily beat Mr. Feingold, who was the guy who sponsored McCain-Feingold, which was overturned by the Supreme Court earlier this year. How ironic, he'll be defeated with all the campaign money. North Dakota, even the New York Times says this is a solid Republican win. Democrats definitely lose North Dakota. That Hoeven to beat Potter. Potter? I wonder if the kids ask him to do magic tricks. Oh, wrong Potter. That makes pickup number 7. Republicans to hold on to South Dakota, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Duh. Arizona. I picked John McCain to win re-election even though I don't think he deserves it. Come to think of it, is he ever gonna retire? You want to hear something weird about McCain? Sarah Palin has retired before he has. I mean, McCain, honestly, are you just not going to quit being a politician until you actually look like Skeletor? Colorado, I'm sorry, I wanted to go back and forth between Republican wins and Democrat wins, Republican wins, Democrat wins, but I'm sorry. I know I'm nuts on this one. My apologies to everybody, but like I said, hey, feel free to prove me wrong. These are predictions. If you really don't like it, then go out and vote for the other guy, but I think Ken Buck's going to beat Bennett. Bennett kind of looked a little sturdy. On C-SPAN, not sturdy, a little shaky on C-SPAN, so that makes it pick up number 8. Yes, you heard me. Nevada, biggest upset of all. Yep, I know Engel's crazy. I know she's crazy. But, yep, Reed's a goner. I'm sorry. Reed's history. I just got back from Nevada. I was born and raised in Nevada. My parents campaigned for Harry Reid when he first ran for the Senate in the 80s. And my dad is doing everything in his power to make sure that Reid loses for some weird reason. I was like, but Dad, you loved Harry Reid in the 80s. Like, I know, son, but I don't like him now. Okay. I just got back from Nevada. Certain union people in casinos don't even like Reid anymore. I was talking to people in the streets. They're pissed. Nevada has a 14.4 unemployment rate. 14.4 unemployment rate? Are you nuts? And Nevada's supposed to be the bankrupt-proof state. So yeah, Reid is going bye-bye. How am I going to make a double prediction? I predict Engel will only serve 1 term. So 2018, I doubt she'll hold on to it. And not only do I predict she's going to win, I predict she's going to win by 4 or 5 points. Yep. Okay, 3, I'll be safe. Now that brings us to California. I know the Republicans have high hopes for this election. Fortunately, The DEMS are going to win this one big time. Barbara Boxer to keep her seat by a smidge, like 2 points. And Jerry Brown to win the governor's race. I'd love for the eBay lady to win since she gave me my first internet job selling crap on eBay. But that scandal with her whole maid incident made her look bad. She didn't respond very effectively. And she's tried to buy this election. All that's done is resent. But let me tell you the number one reason why I think the Democrats are going to keep California, even though they kind of don't deserve it. The pot bill. Triple prediction for California, they're going to legalize pot. I'm almost certain of this. All the potheads and people who want to support voting for pot will show up to the polls, and while they're there, they're going to also vote for the Democrats. Duh. That is unless they're stoned first. Now, I'll guarantee you this. If pot is not legalized in California, we'll know why. Because they showed up to vote the day after the election. Dude, we're here to vote for the pot, man. The election was yesterday. Oh, man. Can you imagine them going to the polls? Hey, dude, we're going to the polls, man. We're going to the polls. We're going to vote to legalize pot, man. We're going to... Ooh, Doritos. What were we supposed to do, man? I'm personally am against use of marijuana. I personally think it's wrong and it is a gateway drug. But I am sort of for medicinal use if you got one hell of a doctor's appointment. Now, here's the thing. They want to legalize pot because they think it'll create $15 billion in revenue for the state of California. California, does this not show you just how your priorities are so out of line? Instead of fixing your economy, making it easier for businesses to work there, what's your one and only solution on how to save the state? Legalize dope. That's the most important thing for you guys. Hey, if it works, great, and I'm sure other states will try it. Now, I'll say this. I kind of hope California does legalize it. Not because I'm going to take advantage of it, but because I want to see if it works. If it does, here's the problem. They say it'll reduce crime, because there'll be no reason for the drug lords to get there. They say it'll create $15 billion in revenue, and they say it'll create jobs. If it does those three things in less than 10 years, then I guess we got a deal. And if not, I guess the other people are right. Now let's go over to Idaho. Get a load of this race. I predict that the Republicans will keep this seat, but you're never going to guess the name of the guy who's running. The senator's name is Senator Crapo. I'm dead serious. The senator's name is Crapo, but it's spelled... it's spelled... it's spelled... It's spelled crap. Wow. South Park was right. South Park was right in more ways than one. This race really is between a douche and a turd sandwich. So who are you going to vote for? I voted for Senator Crapo. Did Cartman rig this race or something? I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. That's the guy's name. Look it up. Senator Crapo. Gee, I wonder if this kid was made fun of in school. Hey, it's Mike Crapo, man. I mean, you think he was made fun of in school? And he was like, I'll show you. I'll show all of you. I'll be a senator someday. I'm going to be a senator. I'll show all of you. Or something even weirder, his office is right across the street from where I live. So, that's 9 pickups for the reps I'm predicting, which will bring it to a tie. But Joe Biden's vice president, so he'll break the tie-breaking vote. Except there's one race I haven't done yet. Washington. Here's number 10. I predict Dino Rossi to get an overdue win, to give Patty Murray an overdue loss. And my 60 minutes are up. I meant my 16 minutes are up.